Hi. Hi, Grant.
Hi, how are you
Good
today?
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Are you well?
Good. Yeah, thank you. And yourself?
Very well, thanks for today.
Good, good. Sorry, guys, we had a few technical issues, but we're all good to go now. Sorry to be running late. Um, so, Grant, let's get started. Grant and I have known each other for almost 20 years. I was looking at
Geez,
how
time
long Car
time
Service
does
City's
fly.
been going for.
'Cause it's been a while since we started our journey together.
It has. And I see it's your 20th anniversary. Is that right? Next year?
Not quite yet. We're not there yet, but soon.
Soon, sure. Wow. And yeah, just as an introduction, um, Grant has been in this business, started it in 2004. And the business has really evolved over the years. You've got additional offerings such as your car wash city and your car tire city, which we'll speak about. And you've really got a great service offering in all kind of respects to your franchisees, which we'll get to as well. And your unique positioning really is offering a quality, affordable offering in convenient locations. And it's really quite impressive just reading about Car Service Holdings. You've got 80 current operations, is that correct?
Yeah, we got 85 now.
Oh wow. And that's since the last time I looked at the website. So that's
Yeah, so we've been
fantastic.
expanding down in the Western Cape quite a lot. So we're spending a lot of my time. I'm staying down here in Cape Town for the moment and trying to expand that
Oh,
area.
oh, okay, okay. So to kick off, Grant, just tell us a little bit about the journey that you've been on, how the business has evolved over the years.
Well, yeah, I mean, it started off as I'm not from the industry, as I think everyone knows, and so I started off fresh. And when I met you, went on a franchise course and started learning it from scratch. As you say, like 18, 19 years ago. From I started because I got my vehicle, my car, that was taken by a backstreet mechanic, and over the Christmas period, and they didn't give my car back over the Christmas time. So when I eventually got my car back, I thought might be some research into the business model of how if we can start up a business that your wife or your daughter could happily go to without feeling like they're being ripped off or you have to worry about them.
Mhm,
And that's how it
mhm.
all started.
And that just lends itself so well to a franchising model where you can, have that consistent service and your expectations are met wherever you go.
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey because over the years we've had to put the business model on its head, starting from all mechanics to going all the way back to just only everybody in the franchise not from the industry to a happy, like there's some happy medium in between. So we had a lot of changes and turns during the period.
Yeah. And I see you've got a mixture. Well, mostly it's franchises, but you also have some company-owned outlets still.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, I think for a head office, one needs to have the finger on the pulse of the market and how it works with
Mm,
the
mm,
consumers and the customers and the
mm.
trends. And by having, we have six at the moment, probably a bit more than normal. But you do need to understand what's happening on the market on the ground, visit your branches, seeing what the customer wants, seeing what the franchisees want. Because if you're a franchisee as well, you understand the cost structures and what works and what doesn't work.
Yes. And a lot of franchisors, or especially budding franchisors, don't actually see the benefit of having those company-owned stores or outlets or services. They kind of just see it as everything should be franchised. But what you're saying is so important that you need to test and prove certain concepts before you kind of roll them out into the franchise network.
No, 100%. I mean, IT, marketing, new initiatives all get rolled out by head office branches. And the ones that don't work, we obviously can. And the ones we do work, we refine and then take it to the franchisees.
Yeah. Yeah, and the franchisees, what's also wonderful, they're happy because you offer quite an amazing service to them.
Yeah, I mean, we have a quite a strong head office staff complement. I mean, I'm very sensitive of people, the franchisees who are not from the industry, which is quite a few of them, and from the corporate world. So we're sensitive to their needs of having to teach them how to run a business and what's involved with running a car servicing
Yes.
business, and all the legal and legislation and everything has opened up for the new business. So because I started it like in the deep end, we want to try and make it as easy as possible for the potential franchisee.
Yeah. And are your franchisees like all mechanics, or do you have a wide array?
Initially, it started off all mechanics in the first couple of years, and then now we've got a mixture of from IT to marketing to accountants to, I think, doctors to from people developing,
Sure.
from the retail industry. So yeah, we have a wide mix of franchises, which is nice. When we all get together, we have different backgrounds.
Yeah.
But I think the culture of the franchise is important, because when we do get together, we sort of all singing from the same hymn page.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting that, again, people think if you're in a certain industry or trade, you've got to have a specialist in that trade. But that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes you need a savvy business person to run the branch or the outlet, and then employ the people with the technical expertise.
Correct. And then we put the franchise in with the technical experienced people.
Yes. Yes, yes.
And obviously then offer continuous training for both mechanics, managers, secretaries, and owners on everything that's required on running a business.
And how do you recruit your franchisees?
It's changed, evolved over the years. Now, we look at them on their energy levels, their experience. If they've run another business before, for instance, and they've done a really good job, we're definitely saying that. We've also people not from the industry who haven't had business experience, but you can see the energy and they want to be involved with their business, have worked also exceptionally well. So I think it's a personality trait, and I think 95% of the time we get it spot on.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be a good culture fit, everybody on the same page. Because one bad franchise can, be detrimental to the brand. Because that's, to me, at the end of the day, it's about the brand and the consumer's image of the brand.
And the latest research shows that the best franchisees are the ones who have a passion and energy for the business.
Correct. I mean, you can
Which
teach
is really
people
what
how to do
you're
everything.
saying.
If they have the energy, I mean, it goes a long way.
For sure. Tell me something, Grant. What are you seeing as the trends in the industry at the moment?
In the franchise industry itself, or in our
The
industry?
franchise, and in the kind of the aftermarket, so to speak.
Well, I think in the franchise industry globally, I think it's definitely a successful business model. And I think what we've seen the stats with 90% of franchisees succeed and only 10% fail. Obviously, the opposite is true with independent business, where 90% fail and 10% succeed. We've definitely seen, especially when hard times come, I think it almost is recession-proof, certainly in our industry, when it comes to difficult times.
Yeah. It's quite amazing that. What is the success rate of your franchises? It's quite high.
Yeah,
You
ours is
don't
very
have
high. I mean, there's always constant assistance from head office. Very few actually don't make it. So I mean, we'll come in and we'll come in and show them what to do again, because in our businesses there's a few things can go wrong. So it's unusual that there's anything strange. It's just sometimes they just one doesn't want to. If they don't turn up to work for a month, it's quite hard to train that. But otherwise, we have a very good success rate in our business.
That's really something. Not many franchises can say the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, we're very passionate about our brand, and we enjoy watching our franchises do exceptionally well. We like it when they've only made X and now they're shooting the lights out and they can buy cars and houses. I mean, it excites us at head office when we see that.
Yes, other people are having that success as
and we
well.
don't like anybody struggling. We like to make them successful.
Yeah, and I see you strategically have kind of diversified. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
We did actually diversify for a while, and we just found that when you have your fingers in too many pies, you're not focusing on your core speciality. So we actually, interesting enough, have sold off the businesses or merged them with other businesses to keep our core focus on franchising the car service city. So it's just, when to me, it just keeps it in the thing and do what you do best and make sure you're the best in the industry. That's our thought process, the head office now. And it
Oh,
certainly has
okay.
worked.
So,
It certainly has worked out better. Yes, some of them do have Tyre businesses, but
okay.
it's not their core business. And the car wash, obviously, it does do well, but it's not their core business though.
Okay. So, I mean, strategically, that's your focus. Your focus is
Yeah, I
stick
mean,
to
we've
your
had
core.
other brands as well in the past. We've had 3 different brands targeting different market segments, but in the end, we just consolidate into one and just super focus in what we do, just so we can provide the best to our franchisees and the customers.
Mm, mm. And speaking of customers, who is your target market? Is it the moms that kind of, like you said, want a reliable service?
Yeah, I mean, certainly our market, I mean, that is part of our market. We try and breed trust. We've got a strong head office. But if anyone complains or needs some attention or asks questions, there's a support system for the customers specifically. But it's about anyone whose car's out of warranty. But even with the new CPA regulations with out of warranty, we're allowed to service cars even in warranty now. So our market's very broad,
Yeah.
which is very exciting for our industry because there's more demand than supply.
Yes.
I mean,
And
there's like
is it
12
mainly
million cars
from the
on the
one?
road.
Sorry, carry on.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cars on the road that need to be serviced and looked after.
Mm, mm. And do you service fleets or anything like that, or is it mostly the
It's
one-on-ones?
mostly the person off the street, but we definitely do. We have got some large prominent fleets around the country. I'm not. There's some large names that everyone knows. So we definitely do have a lot of fleets, but our predominantly is the person on the street who needs a reliable, affordable service.
Yes, yes. Grant, and what is your rollout strategy? Do you have like a country development plan of how
Yes, I
many
mean,
franchises?
obviously I've moved down to Cape Town and expanding Cape Town because we're a
Mm,
bit,
mm.
low on that. So yes, that we will be expanding the Cape Western Cape area and the Cape region, which we've done quite well, all the way up the Eastern Cape as well. So we've definitely expanded on those, and then once we've bedded down those areas, we'll continue growing across the country. But we like to
Yeah.
just consolidate on each area first, so we just can give the franchisees, support and that they need.
Mm. Do you have particular trade areas?
You mean like
Do
Natal
franchisees have?
or Cape Town, or you mean something like that?
Yeah, like each franchisee, can they operate in a specific area, or
Yes, I
is
mean,
kind of best man win?
yeah, I mean, we provide. I mean, the franchises have a choice where they want, as long as it doesn't overlap with the other franchisees or other branches.
Yeah,
We do the research on that, and then so it's usually generally quite easy. On the whole, everybody, I mean, they're allowed to open up numerous branches, which many of our franchises do. Some of them open up around the countryside. So
oh,
there's not a
okay.
specific area that they have to be in,
I
no.
see. Okay, yeah, I was going to ask you that in terms of multi-unit franchises. You say a franchise can open more than one. A
Yeah,
franchisee can open.
most of our franchises have 2, 3, 4, 5 because that's they see the
Oh,
benefit. So a lot of our franchises own quite a
mm.
few numerous franchise branches.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Okay,
So
so the
yeah, I mean that just
multi-unit
shows you the
model would,
business model that they want to be part of the group.
yes, and it also shows their interest in the business, that things are
Correct. Yeah.
working when they opt for more sites.
So yeah, it's
Yeah,
very interesting to see the growth of some of our franchises who start with very little and then they've opened up the 4 or 5 branches and had the huge success, which is very exciting for us at head office.
yeah. Are they normally in the same kind of geographical area?
Generally, yes. Generally, yes. You have 1 or 2 than not, but on the whole, it's best to just keep to an area. It's easier to monitor
Mm.
your branches that way.
Yes, yes, true. And Grant, tell me your value chain, your suppliers. I mean, I see you offer bulk benefits to franchisees that you pass down.
So we on the oil side, we do have bulk buying for the group that's at excellent rates, and things like insurance and technology and all that kind of stuff. But on the spares, we set up 2 or 3 accounts with different suppliers in that branch region, and that allows the branch to get the best price for the consumer in the end. If we start dictating where they get, as long as it's the right quality and they have the right
Mm,
guarantees,
sure.
we don't mind, but that we find the best pricing for the consumer comes from having 2 or 3 people supplying you, and some people might have great discounts on brake pads. The other one might be
Of course.
cam belts, or so we pick the best prices.
Yeah.
And that definitely works best for the consumer.
See, on so many levels, you kind of really do eat, drink, sleep franchising. I
Oh
mean,
no,
from the support
if only you knew. Since when we met, that's all I've been doing for 18, 19 years.
and you've done a superb job. It's always
Thank
nice
you.
to see people kind of fledgling, start from the beginning and build something really successful.
Well, that's the courses you used to hold. You taught us well.
Yeah, good. All those best practices, which very few franchisors can actually keep to when they get that temptation to kind of go off the rails.
It
Yeah,
is
so
tempting,
really
but we just got to keep focused, and I think that's the important part. Do what's best for the consumer and the franchisee in the end.
Yes, absolutely. And just lastly, to kind of end off, can I ask you, today's times, how do you get those cost efficiencies with load shedding and all the other challenges we face?
I think it certainly has been challenging. Fortunately for us, we're not producing anything, so we don't need electricity all the time.
Okay.
So if we've definitely all of us have got either generators or inverters that allows the computers to work, the machines to work, the lifts to work. But on the whole, we haven't terribly been affected by the load shedding.
Oh, wow. You're one of
Yes,
the lucky ones.
we do have to work in sometimes. Some of the branches are a bit dark, and then we obviously have to put extra lighting. But on the whole, a lot of our workshops are bright and very clean and bright. So there's not too much of a problem going on the whole.
Wow. So you're one of the few franchises that kind of have managed to keep away from that cost burden.
Yeah, I
Which
mean,
is
it's certainly a bit of a pain, but it doesn't. I mean, there are other industries that spend fortunes on diesel for the generators or inverters.
Yeah. So are you still selling franchises, or have you kind of reached your saturation
Not
point?
at all. Not at all. I mean, it feels like we just started. um,
Yeah.
but I mean, the country is just so big, and I think the population, with our infrastructure of lack of transport, there's plenty of space to grow this business, and for other franchisees to get on board.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, you've got 85 branches, and you can have branches pretty close to each other.
Was 100%, especially in the densely populated areas. In fact, we've seen from our past and research that when in densely populated areas, and you put 3 or 4 of them in, say, a 4 or 5K radius, the branches do better.
Sure, that's a very interesting outcome.
Yes, which I mean, I think it's from various reasons, but your friends of mine, and there's safety in numbers that you go to one to the other. So, and it's also convenient for the customers.
Yeah, sure. And one tends to look for something, a service offering close to home.
Completely. I mean, I think we all like ease in life.
Yeah.
Life's pretty fast, so we just want to make things easy as possible.
Yeah. Grant, do you have anything to add for those fledgling franchisors out there starting their businesses? Some of the learnings that you have gained.
I mean, I definitely do. If you're looking to be opening up to open up a franchisor, I think and to be a franchisee, I think starting points, just from my own experience, it always looks easy. It looks like you make quick money, but a lot of head office only break even 7-8 years down the line.
Sure.
So I mean, I know, including myself, I remember my attorney saying, "Are you crazy?" But I thought I knew better, but now I'm in it. I'm here for the good. I think that's probably one of the point to note. It is definitely possible. You probably need to have a bit of patience, because it's gonna take a while to build up. Because you're gonna have to do things yourself at the beginning, like accountants, legal, HR, operational. You're gonna have to be a person of all trades doing everything.
Right.
And my advice would some businesses can grow exceptionally quickly. My advice is just, slow and steady is the name of the game, I think. And I also stick to why you started your business, and probably not get carried away with the ego and trying to beat everyone else and get record breaking sales. That would be slow and steady is the way, I think, in my experience. And I think make sure you get your accounting, IT system, everything in place prior to starting. It just puts you on the right foot, because doing it the opposite around slows you down significantly, especially if you're growing fairly quickly. My advice would be seek legal advice. The regulations are onerous for new business owners. Statutory requirements, CPA regulations, even the T's and C's for your business can be tricky because it's often changing, and people do hold you through it. And I think also make sure you understand the body that governs your industry and their regulations. And obviously, you're going to have to seek legal advice for the franchise agreement. But I think for a franchise person looking to get into a franchisees, I think my biggest thing would be to beware of the cheap franchisees. You definitely get what you pay for. I think a good head office complement of staff is paramount for a successful franchisees. You often see quick startups, or they offer free franchise fees for a year, or none of that. But the bottom line is you still need a good head office to provide the support. You're going to need also be able to consult to some of the best specialists in the country, i.e. an example, like marketing specialists, ad agencies, who can sort of help you analyze your data and give you the trends, and so you can focus on your customers where it should be.
Yeah.
Sure, so those are my nuggets for people opening up a franchise or joining a franchise.
Yes. Wow, those are real pearls of wisdom. I mean, you said so much there, and it's exactly what we see franchises trying to do all the time, exact opposite.
That's if I didn't speak too quickly for you.
No, not at all. And sure, I'm surprised at the 7 to 8 year break-even point, but I suppose it depends on the industry, right?
Yeah, the thing is, especially in today's world, the customers expect different things. Franchisees will expect support. I think in 10 to 20 years ago, the expectations of franchise or franchisee were less. The expectations for consumers were different. You're going to have to hire accountants. You're going to have to hire various people, support structure. And if you're paying, whether or not you're 5 branches or 10 branches or 20 branches, you're still going to require support for your business. And obviously that support comes at a cost. And so you're plowing either into your money, your investments, or your own business is going to pay for that.
Yeah, and I mean, franchisors think they work out, okay, we'll start with 10 franchisees because we've had interest from 10 people. They'll pay us an upfront fee of, say, 40,000 times that. Wow, we're looking at 400,000 Rand, and we can just do nothing.
I wish it was that easy, but it's unfortunately in today's world. That's why I think that choosing your franchisor and the brands is exceptionally important. I think it's the quality of the company you're investing in, because you're investing a lot of money into this business, so you really need to make sure that it's a quality brand and quality head office staff.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to write an article on all those points you made, because to make franchisors aware of all of those things is very, very important for the success of themselves, their franchisees, and for the reputation of the industry as a whole.
100%. I mean, that's important. The franchise industry gets a good, solid name. Because there have been some in the past, some fly-by-night, so it doesn't give the industry a good name.
No, not at all. I mean, you guys have really won some very prestigious awards for your integrity as a franchisor.
Yeah, thanks. I think that's to do with my head office team and the franchise all working together as a family. I think it's not just me. I think everybody involved, franchisees and head office. So I think it's thanks to them that we are here where we are.
Yeah, and a huge shout out for them.
Yes, huge shout out.
Wonderful. Grant, have you got anything to add just to end off?
No, I think we've mentioned everything that we wanted to chat about, and I'm happy to take it further another time.
Super. And we're going to post this. A lot of people watch after they don't manage to watch live, but they watch the recordings afterwards. So please, everybody, Grant is willing to take the questions. I hope that you post on LinkedIn. I'll forward it to him, and we can answer you. But thanks everybody for joining this mastermind interview. We hope to have these interviews periodically, monthly, to really give you guys some input as to best practices in franchising and hearing from the experts, the real doyens of the industry. So Grant, I thank you so much for your time and your input.
And thank you.
And all the very best for your future. Yeah. Wonderful. And again, a shout out to all of you guys and to your team, Grant. Well
Thank you.
done.
I'll pass on the message to them.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time and for today.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.